welcome back to my channel. My name is Johanna, and if you're new here, welcome. And if you're returning, welcome back. Now, this is the fourth and last part of my four-part series of my Newbie to Newbie planner series that I did this month. And I have to say that I was pleasantly surprised by the feedback that I've gotten from it. So thank you all for those of you who've commented. But also it's made me think that I'm probably going to revisit this idea again, maybe 6 to 8 months in, which would be like mid-year, just because I think there were some really good tips and thoughts and hacks, but there's just so much more that's out there. I'm probably going to want to revisit those tips and thoughts and hacks and see, does it stand up? Are there better ways to do it? Are there more efficient ways to do it? Is it something that I'm still doing? So yeah, that's where I am with this. This is actually only going to be 4, so for the first 3 installments, there were 5 tips or thoughts or hacks per video. And because I was inspired by Rochelle to do the 19 by 19, there's only going to be 4 more things that I'll be sharing with you. Although there is one more thought that I'll probably leave you with at the end of all of this, and maybe even a bonus video, but I'll talk about that in a little bit. So, number 16. Number 16 of the tips and hacks and thoughts is actually something, I don't know that you could say that I created this or I discovered this, but it's something that I do because I hate currently pages. So let me get you to the January currently page. And the reason why I hate currently pages is really for this section right here where it asks you what you're reading, planning, doing, loving, blah, 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 blah. And a lot of the happy planners have variations of these. They don't always ask this, but I don't like it. I don't like feeling that either I am not doing things so that I can list things, or I feel this is restrictive because I might be doing lots of these things. But I know on the other end of the spectrum, there are planners who love this because it lets them focus on the month that they just had. They usually do this towards the middle or end of the month. It's good for memory keeping. I mean, I see the advantages of it. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. So, and especially since I intend for this particular planner, and this is my big happy planner for social media and business, again, it doesn't jive with me. So what I did when I first started was I created I turned it into a tracker of sorts. Well, not of sorts, it's a tracker. So this one was the first time that I tried it, and it took me forever. This is a flight box. Sticker box. It had flight, arrival, all that. I don't travel much, so I didn't think I'd be using it, so I wanted to repurpose it. But just covering everything, that was no bueno, so I never did that again. And then I used a big sheet of sticker paper for behind to cover it up because I did use whiteout, but I didn't like how that looked. And so yeah, this took forever. I liked how the functionality of it was, but I didn't like the execution. So for November, I decided to do the same. And instead of utilizing a sticker book or stickers or repurposing stickers, I just used a memo pad sheet that I had purchased specifically for this purpose, because I don't use note lists like this in any other function. And this one was definitely easier and faster than the first one, but it also brought up something that I actually will not carry forward, which is my Etsy sales and stats. Now, I do have 2 Etsy shops, and that's the reason why I have this planner, or originally intended for this planner. And I do get a fair amount of views. I do get a fair amount of likes, a fair amount of favorites, but that does not correspond to sales. And I am thinking of ways that that can be changed for the new year. But when I was coming back, because I do this at the end of the month, so when I was coming back to this and reviewing what my November was going to look like, and I just realized I misspelled November. Awesome. Sorry. I know that makes it better. Yeah. Anyway, I did absolutely no sales in either of my shops for November, and that's inclusive of the Black Friday, Cyber Saturday, Black Friday, Small Business Saturday, Cyber Monday. I was running sales. I actually had a sort of a giveaway, nothing. And so when I came back and I looked at my numbers, the other numbers that I did was okay. You know, it was tracking the way I thought it should, but this just was really depressing for me. So maybe if sales picks up and I want to see from month to month what my sales are, then yeah, I might come back to this. But as of right now, this just is more discouraging than it is helpful. So yeah. And then for my posts and my pins and my videos, let me know if you also do YouTube or social media, because sometimes it's hard for me to figure out exactly how many of these things I've done per month, because if I go to my analytics in Instagram, for instance, it'll tell me on a weekly basis, but I guess what I'll have to do is track it weekly instead of monthly, but it won't tell me, because I can filter by the number of likes I've gotten for the month, or the impressions or whatever, but I'd actually just like a hard and fast, this is how many things you posted. And for whatever reason, I can't find that in Instagram. Pinterest is the same way. I don't see where I can look at what my activity was for Pinterest. So unless I am tracking on a daily or weekly or daily basis and then adding that up at the end of the week, it's really hard for me to get that number. And then for YouTube, I can filter, or I can look at the month and I can just count. So, I mean, if there's an easier way for me to get these numbers, then let me know, because that would be super helpful to me, just because I want to maintain the number of posts and videos and things that I'm doing, but also it helps me see that's where my time has also gone. Now for December, I changed up. So like I said, I'm not going to be looking so detailed at my Etsy sales, so that took away, or I didn't need to track that. And this is, again, one of those list pads. I picked this up from Walmart. I think it was $1. It's one of those things you hang on the fridge. And I didn't even do any whiteout behind it. There is a little bit of ghosting where you can see, but you know what? It doesn't bother me. So, and then I just used some stickers here just to make header labels, but again, wasn't even necessary. And this was birthdays, so I covered it up. This was important dates, so I covered it up. And then again, I will be tracking this tomorrow, the 31st of December, because it gives me, I can compare month to month. Most of, if not all of the analytics you can get are cumulative. So if you don't get a snapshot of your views on a particular day, you're never going to see that again. Well, at least that I know of how to get to. Again, if you're on YouTube or Instagram, Pinterest and you know of a way to track these numbers, that would be amazing. Definitely leave me a comment below. Now, this is one method that I've used to cover up the currently page, because again, hate it. But there is another method that I've recently come up with. And let me close this. This is my mini happy planner. I made this cover last night, and in my mini happy planner video I'll be filming today, but probably loading later on this week, I'll talk about this. So in the planner section, because I did do 4 different sections, planner, bullet journal, notes, and then important stuff. In the planner section for December, I just, this is from the No Drama Llama, and I don't know why January is there. So let's pretend that didn't happen. Now for January, again, hate the currently page. It's asking me a whole bunch of things. Yeah, I don't care. So this is from the No Drama Llama Mini Happy Planner, and it isn't the currently page, but it is going to be my currently page that I will Frankenplan in. And during my mini happy planner setup for the first week of January, I'm actually going to just glue these pages together so that I don't have to see it. Because again, it's just paper, it's just words. I don't know why it bothers me so much, but it does. So that's what I plan to do with that one. So that's a different way that you can change up your currently page. Although in my notes section, these are the dashboards from, I'm pretty sure they're from the No Drama Llama Mini. And on the other side would be the monthly calendar like it is in April. So that's the dashboard, and that's the first part of the monthly overview. Well, what I did with this one was I had some coloring pages that I had on hand. So I just glued it, covered it up, and because I think it goes very well with the planner already in the color scheme, I can either leave that as is and it's cute, or I can actually color it in. So I think that's a good idea. And even in the Big Happy Planner, which is the biggest size Happy Planner there is, this is 8.5 by 11. So if that's something you wanted to do with your currently page, you could certainly, I would think, find a coloring book that was 8.5 by 11, punch it, glue it, and you're good to go. Instant coloring page to help you just, wind down or just get your mind off of things. So that's my own personal hack for this Newbie to Newbie series, is creating a currently page that works for you. Number 17. Now, number 17 is actually by Tamara from the Paper and Pen Girl, and her and a bunch of planner babes did a 25-part series where different ladies did different tips and hacks and thoughts throughout the month of December regarding just planning in general, whether it's for newbies, veterans, happy planners, bullet journalers, Erin Condreners, if that's a word. But she did a whole series, and one of the things she does that I think is really cute and that I've never actually done but I think is a great idea is she uses wax paper in order to figure out what she's going to do to help her pre-plan, essentially. So with the magic of wax paper, boom, vertical layout, blank page, blank slate, you can do whatever you want to do. You take the wax paper and all of a sudden you can see either how this will look on the page. Does this look good? Are there spots that I need to fill in? Do I need to take some of this off? It is super busy, and because it is a wax paper, it comes off really easily. And let's say you do a whole spread like this. So let's say in January I was going somewhere. I'm not, but let's say I was. And I did all of the things here, and then I'm like, you know what, I don't really need this because I might need to write in this. You could still lay down all of your stickers, leave the remaining stickers on here, close your planner, and nothing's happened to the stickers. They are still usable, they're still functional, you haven't wasted anything, but you know, at least you knew before you actually stuck it down on here, you're good to go. So I think this is a great tip and hack. Now I do have to say, I tried this with parchment paper with not great results. One, because parchment paper is not clear, so I actually could not see on the other side. And parchment paper has a non-sticky side and a paper side. So if you do it on the non-sticky side, you can get the stickers back up. If you do it on the, well, it's not sticky, I shouldn't say sticky, non-slick side, because wax paper is slick, it's not sticky. But if you do it on the paper side of the parchment paper, then you've effectively decorated parchment paper. So yeah, don't do that. Don't do that. And it won't work with saran. It won't work with like a laminated sheet because with the slickness of wax paper, there's a coating on here that's purposely made for things not to stick. With a laminator sheet, so if you ran it through your laminator and you had like a clear acetate thing, you could definitely see through it, but sometimes the adhesive paper sticks to it. So you'd be able to pull it up, but it wouldn't be sticky anymore. And again, I've learned that on other projects. So this is a great hack if you either don't have many stickers or you are really mindful of what you want to do, or if you just want to kind of test the waters. This is a great hack that Tamara came up with. And I've never seen anyone else do it. And I think is great for both newbies and veterans. For veterans who may want to plan out something different than maybe they normally do, but also for newbies who may have difficulty wanting to commit to something. Because again, once you stick the sticker and you don't have the undo goo or whatever it is I've seen, then it might be a little stressful for you. So this is a way to take some of that stress out and just play, because again, if you don't use it, you still have your stickers. So that's number 17. Number 18. 18 originally was just to be about managing anxiety and mental health in your planner journey. But really, I think what Happy Planners, bullet journals, Erin Condren, plum paper, Bloom, a composition notebook, any of those things I think are great tools to track habits. Now, if some of those habits happen to be either managing your anxiety or mood, that's a great thing. Now, Jessica from Pretty Prints and Paper has an excellent video on her journey of managing anxiety in her bullet journal. Again, I really love bullet journaling, but I hate writing out the month. I hate creating weekly spreads when you can get something that already has that in it. So I've really done what the Modest Cat does quite a bit of, where I've created my Happy Planner into a bullet journal style so that it works for me on both levels. Again, doodles, talked about that in another video. Tarchelle from Tarchelle B's channel, she also does a lot of focusing on excuse me, her own mental health journey, and she does hers in her Happy Planner, but she also does, she has some great videos on her weight loss and fitness journey. It might be just her fitness journey. But because you're in here either daily or weekly or monthly, it's a great landing spot for habit trackers. And I have to admit, I was a bit sneery of habit trackers, even with my love of bullet journaling, because of ego. And I've had a lot of reflection about this since I've picked this up. And it's one of those things, I'm fine, I can handle it, story about me type of mentalities where I don't need to track my moods because I'm fine. And I don't need to track this because I'm doing okay. When really, you're just falling apart and not really reflecting or doing anything. I mean, I guess what I'm trying to say is if you're constantly falling apart, then that's your normal, when maybe it shouldn't be. Maybe that's what I'm trying to get to with this. So what I started incorporating in December was a mood tracker, and because this planner I come in at the end of the day, I thought this would be a great landing spot for that. And because, like I said, I do like the whole bullet journal thing, and I wanted to see if I could be creative in a different way, because I really can't draw. I created this little mood tracker. Really loved this one. I thought this one was super cute. And yeah, this is actually the first one I did. This was the week of Monday, November the 26th. I thought that was really cute as well. This was the second one. Absolutely hated this one, as you can tell, because I never came back to it. Actually, this entire week I didn't actually do a lot in here, and that's okay. Loved these guys, these little doodles here, just because of this guy right here. I think they're all super cute. I'm not sure what's going on with the eye, but you know, whatever. I think it's cute, and I liked coming back to it. For Christmas week, which happened last week, I actually kept the vertical layout, threw up Christmas stickers on it, and then called it a day. I actually did not come into here at all during the week of Christmas. And again, I am okay with that. The way that I will probably be doing my mood trackers in the future is I will continue to utilize this space, because I did turn the vertical into a dashboard layout because I really like this layout, but I will continue to use this particular space to do doodles because I do enjoy that. And even though this is a social media and business planner, it's still mine, and I'm still going to do what I want. But I'm not going to utilize this space to track moods, because I find this very restrictive, because most, if not all, although I think there might have been one that may have been what I need, most mood trackers that I've seen assume that you have the same mood all day, and I don't. And so if I'm trying to pinpoint triggers of why things are happening, it's really cute if you fill in a color scheme for a box, assuming that's your overall mood. But again, then I don't see how that's personally helpful. And it might be helpful if you're doing something like a year in pixels, which I've seen, where every day and you can see maybe there's weeks at a time. Like when I am PMSing, I get super, super down. And usually if I'm reflecting on why am I so depressed or why am I so angry, I can usually clock into the fact that, oh, okay, so I'm probably PMSing. But again, this mood tracker, while cute, is not functional for me. So I like where the doodles come in, because I think it's playful and it's fun for me, but I will be looking at different mood tracking in the future. And with Jessica and Tarchelle, I think they've really locked down on some of their triggers. They've locked down on some of their focal points, and I definitely think you should take a look at their videos, and I will link them below. I will have their channels linked as well as those particular videos, because again, it's a planner is great for tracking appointments and your kid stuff if you have children, or your husband stuff if you have husband, or your work things. But it also is a great landing spot for tracking anything, because one, you've got it written down so that you can see it, but two, you can keep these and see, okay, this is where I was 5 months ago, 10 months ago, a year ago, and you can see progress, whether negative or positive progress, but you can see progress. So that's my number 18 tip for habit tracking in your planner system. Now, number 19, the final official hack tip thought is from Lanaya, and I believe she's a very new YouTuber. I actually saw something on Instagram first about this, and then I found it on YouTube, and I was tickled pink because I think it's a great idea. Now, Lanaya, and I hope I'm saying that right, I apologize if I mangled your name, but she had wanted something that was on the go, and the mini happy planner, and she explains it in her YouTube video, but the mini just wasn't working for her. So she had a bunch of half sheets, and she made her own happy planner. She made her own cover, and she even called it like a super mini on the go planner. So like I said, what she did was she used mini half sheets, and she made her own covers, and she uses that as her on-the-go planner. Genius. I don't have mini half sheets. I've never seen them in the Walmart near me. I think the Ben Franklin House Mart store might have them, but I've never also seen a function for them that I would use, because what I typically do is take the classic happy planner size paper and fold them in half. I think this is just way more useful, and I get a lot more writing space in here. But then I was putting this together for this hack thing, and I thought, you know what? It's not exactly a half sheet size, but who cares? It's just for me. This makes a great notebooky thing. Now, because there's this glue elastic at the top here, I actually had to rip all of these out one by one. I punched them. I have the big Happy Planner punch, so that made it really easy. And I actually have a variety of different papers. So if you're looking for an on-the-go list that isn't too big, this would be a great way to use some of those dollar list pads that you normally put on your fridge. These are great magnets, so save these, because I actually use these magnets in another project that I did. And yeah, you can create your own little super mini just like Lanaya did. That was a great idea. You definitely should check out her channel. I will link her channel. I will link that video below, but again, check out her channel, because super creative idea. So that's number 19. That is the last of the tips and the hacks and the thoughts for this series. However, number 20-ish, 19 and a half, 19.2, however you want to look at it, is just start. Just start your YouTube journey. Just start your planner journey. Just start your Instagram account journey. Just start your Facebook journey. Just start. And I know a lot of people, because I do belong to some Facebook groups regarding Happy Planner, a lot of times I'll see people doing searches of, I'm new, what do I do now? You know, I don't know where to start. It's so overwhelming. It's so stressful. And yes, and yes, and yes, it is all of those things. But it is also fun, and it's creative, and it's a way for you to take a few minutes in your day, you know, whether you're a busy mom, a busy professional, a busy wife, a busy all of the above. It's a way for you to take a few minutes, either a day, a week, and just focus on quiet. And hopefully that is something that you can actually do that in. For me, it's easy. I can just close my door and I can do what I want. For some, that may not be your reality. And the reason why I say just start was, as I mentioned in the first part of this series, I picked up this happy planner in October of 2018, and I also started filming shortly thereafter, if just to document, wait, what? This seems so easy when all these planner ladies do it on YouTube. It really does. And so this is how I first started out. And again, I mean, ultimately a planner is supposed to help you either organize or keep track of things, right? So, and it does that. Cool. Spreads are not as happy. I'm not as pleased with looking at this. But again, it does track things. So if I've ever wondered what I did in October 2018, at least in here, I can look at this. And again, there are just, yeah, that's not great. November was busy in my Etsy shops, but I kind of was starting to find a groove of what I wanted to use this for. I do like a lot of writing. So this was the first week that I was inspired by Tarchelle to change my vertical into a dashboard layout. And again, loving it. I love looking at this. I don't know that I ever planned this to be a memory keeper, but it is. I mean, it may not be pictures of things I was doing. It may not be snapshots of my family and my friends, but this gives me an idea of my journey in my Facebook and my Etsy and how I was feeling on some of the things and my YouTube journey. And I really, really enjoy this. And if I had waited until I had gotten good at it, I wouldn't be able to see my progression, because I don't do this to make happy spreads to get all of the views on Instagram or YouTube. I mean, I actually utilize this book, but I like being able to share my journey just because, one, it holds me accountable to continue it, because that's not always a thing, but also because it makes me want to connect with other people who might be struggling with the same thing. So if you're on the fence, if you have one of these and you put it away, if you have a planner and you put it away, if you think I don't have all the new sticker books that Manby keeps triggering people with, just start. Use whatever you have and whatever time you have in whatever method you have, because again, it's not like you have to plan out your whole year. It's not like you're committed to this every single week or every single day. If you don't like it, turn the page. It's as easy as that. There's no sticker police out there who's going to tell you that you did it wrong. There's no handwriting police out there who's going to tell you that your penmanship is bad. I actually love seeing things that my mom has written. She has very beautiful penmanship. She doesn't like it, but she does have penmanship. And I love looking at like recipes that she's written on, because it's history, right? So you may not care for this, but if you're a family or friend or spouse, whatever, look at this. This is you. This is your thoughts. This is your writing. This is a little piece of your creativity. So again, 19.5, number 20, whatever, extra bonus tip, just start. So As always, thank you so much for joining me on this journey. I do have lots of ideas for new videos for 2019. And from me to you, Happy New Year, and as always, aloha.